are here with a 19-5 record.
And the Region 5 champion Shiloh Christian Skyhawks at 18-7 beat Turtle Lake Mercer McCluskey 32-31 in the region title game, and that game was tied 2-2 after the first quarter. And Mike Dwyer just told his guys after they played Max and barely beat Max in game one of that region, he said, guys, I hope we win tomorrow because I have a plan for the Trojans, the defending region champion, and that plan was to keep the ball away for most of that first half.
So you don't think we'll see 170 points in this game like we did in our first one?
I don't think so, but it would certainly
70
be a treat.
would be nice, huh?
It would certainly be a treat if we do. Our first substitution is a quick one, Aaron Hultstrand. He's a 6'2 sophomore for Coach Dwyer, and boy, I tell you, the last month or so, he has been very, very good.
Offensively, outside Randall, he'd scored the first 6 points of the game for the Pirates.
Wide open in the corner, Hultstrand. Another three for Shiloh Christian. What do we say about those threes?
Oh, they offensively.
As a shooter, maybe, but not on the drives. Yeah. Friesen's pass to Hultstrand. 3 players have 5 now for Shiloh.
Around Randall, that was one of our keys to the game. Taking care of Randall, but making sure you know where the other guys are.
Hultstrand is free on the baseline. 7 points for Aaron Hultstrand.
Well, Hultstrand's kind of hanging out in this near corner. Had a couple of good 3-point looks that time. Able to find some room and drive.
Miller hopped and turned it over. Hultstrand played pretty much he's played a lot of minutes this year. 2 quarters of JV and then finishing up on the varsity. And there he is finishing with 2 points in the Farmers Union Insurance replay to put his team back to within 1. Chance for the lead now for Shiloh.
Good recovery on defense for the Skyhawks.
Now Miller's turn to guard Friesen. Hultstrand off on his shot. He'll try it again after setting up for the 3. There's a whistle away. We'll count that 3. So give Hultstrand 10 points total.
It's a job I'd never want.
Yep, neither would I.
After the fact.
Cody's first foul, 13 foul.
This junk happening everywhere.
And one for Aaron Hultstrand.
baseball fields and baseball diamonds and everything else right there to that to the newest high school in Bismarck.
No doubt about it. Well, these two teams hail, as you said, from Region 8 and Region 5. Let's take a look at the keys to the game. Keys to the game, first of all, for Shiloh Christian. Defensive rebounding, a real key today because of what they're going against in Divide County. And then if Shiloh can just continue its balancing act, which is a good thing in this regard because this is a team that has 4 players averaging in double figures. It's been a tough team to defend. Shiloh Christian. It's Joey Dwyer, the 5'10 senior. This is a very experienced, very senior-dominated starting lineup. Also in the starting lineup is Aaron Hultstrand, a 6'2 senior. He was expected to do big things this season. Donovan Lambert, a good shooter, a 6'1 junior. Clint Miller averages 6 points and 5 rebounds a game. He's a senior. And also Matt Rask. He's the size, 6'5", a senior, averaging 12 points a game. For Mike Dwyer in his 20th season as head coach at Shiloh Christian. The truth. Here's Lambert, now the lefty, casting high off the iron. And a whistle as Divide County's Ethan Field had position on the defensive boards.
Hultstrand will be called for the foul, but that was one thing. I was out on Monday before practice talking with some of the guys, and every guy already knew what Coach Dwyer's theme was. They all talked about rebounding. We have to rebound, we have to rebound. So trying to get that first foul going for a rebound, not a big surprise.
Well, you see the defensive assignment there by Shiloh Christian against home, and it was basically 2.5 people surrounding him off the miss. Shiloh looks for a little transition now, going into the lane. Free throw line by Rask. And Matt Rask, who averages 12 points a game on the season.
Pro line, these guys are used to playing where there's just one line. They see the line and they let it go.
Lambert tries to answer, strong off the glass, but it's an offensive rebound for Shiloh Christian. And there's 2 as Aaron Hultstrand, boy, talking about a guy who needs to make one at this point of the game. Hultstrand needs that.
Well, I think from a Shiloh's kind of psyche on the offense, you'd have to say the same.
Home drives and long off the mark. Listed the rebound, that was blocked.
Hultstrand got it.
Aaron Hultstrand got a piece of it.
Real good answer here for Divide. Yep, the Maroons needed the answer and they found it.
They did. The 3 gets them back within 1. Hultstrand wide open, struggling with the shooting touch, and he goes, not anymore, boys. I got 3 right there.
Boy, the ball into the low post has been big because Rask, they just make that one.
Yeah. Here's Hultstrand knocking down the 3-pointer.
Yeah, his 23rd 3 of the year. You know, Hultstrand, even though we were talking about, I mean, he leads the team in steals, leads the team in blocks, second in rebounding.
Wigington for 3, spins off. Jacobs had his pocket picked nicely by Hultstrand.
Good decision to roll out of it.
In an era where the old maxim, there's no I in team, is often thrown by the wayside, Aaron Hultstrand is a model of synergy.
With this team, anyone can score the big points, so you just got to work hard each night, and if you score or not, it doesn't really matter. Hardly
the response you would expect from Shiloh Christian's top returning scorer. But with the addition of transfer Donovan Lambert and the development of big man Matt Rask, the Skyhawks suddenly have a wealth of offensive talent. Not that Hultstrand's contributions are any less important.
He's a great defender, he's a great rebounder, and I mean, he's really capable of scoring. You know, he's had, I don't know, a few 20-point games.
He's just an all-around good athlete. He rebounds well, he defends well.
Hultstrand got a dry run with sharing the wealth during the fall when he decided to join the football team after giving up the sport following the 8th grade. He soon found a home in the Skyhawks' 3-man backfield and blossomed into a 2-sport star.
Any person who can come in as never playing varsity football before and run for 1,400 yards in a season, that's pretty incredible.
I was always pressured by my classmates to join, and then I just felt like it was something I had to try, and it worked out well.
Now he's applying the same concept on the court, where Shiloh's offense is proving to be consistently unpredictable, and all to its advantage.
One night it was you know, one kid scoring 30, and the next night I think he had 3 or 4, and, you know, a couple other kids were scoring, you know, close to 20.
Each of us aren't going to shoot well each night, but we always know at least one of us is going to shoot well. So it's an advantage knowing you have that.
So too is having a senior willing to buy into that concept. For NBC North Dakota Sports,
TV, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Here's a couple of key players we think just to kind of keep a little bit extra eye on in this particular contest between Shiloh Christian and North Star, Aaron Hultstrand, and that's mostly from the defensive side. Hultstrand will be going up against Daniel Grandy, and he gets that assignment because they're going to, as we talked about the keys to the game, they're going to use help on trying to guard Hagler. That means Hultstrand is not going to receive a whole lot of help. He's the best defensive player on the team, and that's his main job tonight. Play defense against a kid that scored 20 yesterday.
Look at that.
And there's 2 blocks right here already. Lambert will challenge, and he comes up with the huge block. Donovan Lambert. He timed it perfectly.
Barely moved the net. But we got the early preview of Bears Tail's insertion into the game defensively, and that he's going to be guarding Grandy.
Hultstrand outworking everyone to get that rebound and put it back up with his left hand. All 3 of his shots did Larson.
As good as Jacob Hagler and Daniel Grandy are, there aren't many things they haven't seen from opposing defenses and able to recognize and react to it.
Now Grandy threw it away. Hultstrand to the floor to shoot 2.
It was a really good move by Hultstrand there, wasn't it? Hangs in the air, gets the one-hander up, and the thing almost went in. Farmers Union Insurance replay. Scored himself to the basket and gets the trip to the free throw line.
Hultstrand played football for the first time since, I can't remember if it was 8th or 9th grade or something like that this year, his senior year. All he did was rush for, I think it was over 1,400 yards. Hultstrand to the floor, and he won that battle as it went off of Braun. It's a hustle play that coaches love to see. Trying to play half-court defense. I thought we might see a little bit more of that tonight.
I anticipated that too.
Hultstrand from the deep corner.
It's a guy that what's he not doing? I think you're going to see him even more aggressive on dribble penetration when North Star's on the offensive end. 'Cause 3 good things happen. He scores, his teammate scores, or he gets to the free throw line, which hasn't happened. What about that confidence with 3-pointers? Bears Tail hit one and Hultstrand now.
And that gives Shiloh the lead. And made in a row this year.
6 3-pointers yesterday in the 3rd quarter for Shiloh.
Halfway there so far.
Well, look at that. Holy smokes, are they getting physical inside?
And then opened up, no help for Hultstrand. One guy's laying down, well, I'll just run right past.
Haugen in.
First look, though, of the trap or some ball pressure underneath Hultstrand. Bears Tail with the pass, and the lead again goes to Shiloh.
And that is the defending state champions and haven't lost in more than 2 years. I know he wants to get Rask in the lineup badly. He wants to come in the game, and he'll do that at the next whistle situation.
Shot clock to 5. And it banks in for Hultstrand to tie it. Hultstrand with 15 points, and it's 46 all. There's Mike with Brad just off to your right. Miller with a shot. Hultstrand runs it down, flips it right back in. And Lambert will, oh, he didn't score it. Still scratch.
Points into this game, but still looking for his first basket.
Not Blom's. He's got a lot of baskets. He's got a man on his right. That's Adam
Hultstrand with the steal here.
Yeah, Hultstrand will lay it in at 19. We'll just get Knutsvik's name there. He's a 5'11" sophomore. Blom's. Oh, thought he had that one. Dwyer couldn't save it to a teammate. Hultstrand between his legs to a teammate.
A lot of Blom's shots tonight have been short, haven't they? I mean, I wonder if that's effect of last night, because he exerted so much energy in the offensive end.
Hultstrand was able to get back, looking for Yale in the low post, and the pass was picked.
Hultstrand really read it nice, anticipated that inlet pass, picked it off. Well, your options here are, Dwyer, obviously something off the dribble penetration. You got Lambert and you got Bearstail, so you got your 3-point shooters.
Drive and dish, more likely.
Yeah.
Nope, we'll pull up jumper for Dwyer.
Dan Yale and let him cruise up the floor as fast as he can and pull a shot, right? Or get it to Austin Lee, maybe?
Lee in the corner, that's for the win. Shiloh holds on. The Bombers with a strong comeback. And Shiloh Christian finishes third, beating the team that was ranked second in the final poll of the year, 52-50. Does that sound familiar for a final score involving a Shiloh Christian team?
Because last night in the semifinals, Shiloh was on the short end of the 52-50 game to North Star.
We'll be back with the awards and trophy presentations after this third place game. It ended up being a tight one, but Shiloh Christian wins for the 23rd time this year, 52-50 over Berthold.